So yesterday, Attorney General Sessions sent a letter defending what he told you during his confirmation hearing. Just to bring back our viewers to what this is about, your question talked about the story CNN broke at that moment about whether there may have been contacts between Trump campaign advisors and Russians known to U.S. intelligence and whether U.S. intelligence had been monitoring it. Here is the end of your question with then Senator, now Attorney General Sessions.
If there is any evidence that anyone affiliated with the Trump campaign communicated with the Russian government in the course of this campaign, what will you do?
Senator Franken, I'm not aware of any of those activities. I have been called a surrogate at a time or two in that campaign, and I did not have communications with the Russians, and I'm unable to comment on it.
Now, since then, it came out that he had actually met with the Russian ambassador twice, although he said he did so in his capacity as a senator, not as a campaign surrogate. President Trump even went on to say that Sessions, quote, could have stated his response more accurately. Sessions yesterday amended his remarks to the committee, saying that his answer was correct and that he, quote, did not mention communications he had with the Russian ambassador over the years because the question did not ask about them. What's your response, sir?
That's a ridiculous response. It's not a clarification at all. Of course, the question didn't ask about the Russian ambassador. I didn't ask him. He answered a question that he asked himself, which is, did I meet with any Russians? And he answered it falsely. He said, no, I hadn't. So this response, listen, I've been cutting him a lot of slack. I've been refusing to say that he lied. I've wanted to wait for this letter to come out. It's hard to come to any other conclusion that he just perjured himself.
So you think he perjured himself? What do you think the penalty should be? Do you think he should resign?
I think he should come before the committee and explain this. Of course, no one asked him about the Russian ambassador. He's the one who volunteered that information, that he didn't speak to anybody, and it turned out he had met twice with the Russian ambassador, once a private meeting. And he had 7 weeks to just notify us. This is about the Russian government hijacking our election. And this is about whether there was any collusion in that interference by the Trump campaign. And it raises all kinds of questions. What do the Russians have on Trump? Why is he so complimentary to Putin all this time? His son said in 2008 that we have a lot of Russian money coming into our operation, or in our organization, our business organization. We need to see the president's income taxes. He lied about that. He said you can't release your income taxes if you're under audit. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. Also, he was asked to produce a letter from the IRS saying you're under audit. He can't produce that.
Senator, let me ask you, you have been criticized by Republicans. Senator Grassley, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, said that your question was a gotcha question. Folks on Fox and Friends, I'm not sure if you saw it, but they criticized...
I don't watch Fox and Friends. It's in the morning, and I'm usually getting off to work.
But just to bring you up to speed, I think they criticized, some of the individuals there criticized your question as meandering and confusing. Bottom line, is it possible that Senator Sessions, Attorney General Sessions, thought that you were talking about talking to Russians in the capacity as a campaign surrogate versus as a senator?
I asked him a very clear question, which is that if this information turned out to be true, that members of the Trump campaign had been talking to the Russians, what would you do? Meaning, what would you do as Attorney General? And he just answered in a completely different question and said, I haven't talked with the Russians, and that answer was false. Listen, these people on Fox and Friends, they can say anything they want. It's very clear that I did not trick him into saying I didn't meet with the Russians.
The nominee for Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, would not commit today to supporting the appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate contact between Trump campaign staffers and Russians. Are you satisfied that he could lead a fair Justice Department investigation, given that the Attorney General has recused himself? And will you support him for Deputy Attorney General?
I really haven't decided yet. I was a little unhappy with the fact that he had not read the intelligence organizations, even the unclassified report on the Russia interfering with our elections. And that seemed to me as odd. Seemed to me that he maybe deliberately did that so that he could say that I don't know anything about this. But I thought that was odd. But I'm not exactly certain how I'm going to vote right now.